Hello, this is Marbozir, and welcome back to XCOM The Long War. So, this is going to be the start of Season 2 of XCOM The Long War. Beta 15 has been out for a while now, and this was a highly requested series, and I still enjoy The Long War a lot. So here we are, Season 2. Now this will be a slightly different campaign from the previous one. I will be playing with Training Roulette to make things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more random, a little bit more unpredictable. And Training Roulette is a lot of fun. It can lead to some really interesting soldiers. I will discuss some of the new things in Beta 15, but Beta 15 is a huge build. It has a ton of changes. It would probably take a 2-hour episode just to discuss all the new things in Beta 15. So I won't cover everything because that's just impossible in one video. But I will talk about new things as I go, especially about some of the biggest changes, including the new country bonuses, which we are going to discuss in this video. Anyway, as for the difficulty level, now this is one of the reasons why this new series took a while. I've been playing Beta 15 a bit, and I have to say I really disagree with impossible difficulty changes in Beta 15. And the most important part of these changes is that all aliens on impossible difficulty get damage bonuses. Now, this is bad because this pretty much kills one of the biggest reasons why I enjoyed The Long War so much in the first place. And I'm pretty sure the same goes for a lot of other people, but I'm obviously only speaking for myself. And that reason was that The Long War has always been tough and challenging, without having to resort to aliens one-shotting you without crits left and right, which happened a lot in the early game in Vanilla Impossible. And that's lazy design, in my opinion at least. And the fact The Long War didn't do that, while still being very tough and challenging, was one of the biggest reasons why I enjoyed it so much. Beta 15 on Impossible goes back to Vanilla Impossible design, unfortunately, because all the aliens get damage bonuses. This is often +1 damage, but because of the way damage works in XCOM, that leads to +2 maximum damage. Because, for example, 5 damage is 4 to 6, but 6 damage is 4 to 8. So +1 damage can give the alien +2 maximum damage, which means your soldiers can and will be one-shot without the aliens having to crit. The thresholds for survival are really damn high. So, for example, in order to survive a non-crit shot from a sectoid, you need at least 7 hit points. That's right from the start of the game. In order to survive a maximum non-crit from, let's say, a floater, you need 9 hit points. Same goes for Thin Man. Not only that, it's actually worse than in Vanilla Impossible, in my opinion, because the way you could deal with it in Vanilla Impossible was by playing very aggressively, to kill the aliens before they get a chance to kill you. You cannot do this in Beta 15, because you'll just trigger multiple pods and get yourself murdered, which is not optimal, as you might imagine. The way to deal with it in Beta 15 is by playing extremely defensively. You have to be very cautious and take every mission very slowly. That's not the kind of playstyle that I really enjoy. I played like that for the first 3 or 4 months, and let me tell you, it wasn't very fun, to say the least. At least I personally found it to be very tedious and boring. So that's not really something I personally enjoy. Again, I'm only speaking for myself, but this was the reason why I enjoyed The Long War a lot to begin with. And that reason is pretty much gone in Beta 15, at least on Impossible. So I will be playing on Classic instead. The Long War in general, Beta 15 Long War I mean, is actually quite a bit harder than Beta 14. I would say that each difficulty level is about 1 notch higher than the same difficulty level in Beta 14. And so Classic is sort of like brutal in Beta 14. It's not a direct translation, but the difficulty level is roughly comparable. to brutal in beta 14, and brutal in beta 15 is comparable to impossible in beta 14. In any case, I will be playing on classic, and I will be playing with training roulette and with hidden potential, just to make things more interesting and more unpredictable. I don't think I'm going to use any other second wave options. Nope, I'm okay with these two. So, let's get started then. I will discuss all the countries' starting bonuses, because one of the biggest changes in beta 15 is that each country now has its own individual bonus. So they all have different starting bonuses, and these bonuses are really interesting. It definitely increases replayability even more, and it leads to some really interesting strategies with specific countries. There is an option to play with no starting bonus. Some of the countries have an option to start with no unique bonus at all. Anyway, I will talk about all these bonuses one by one. So first we got Argentina. All soldiers will receive +5 will. This is one of the groups of bonuses, so to speak, where you get extra stats for your soldiers, and these are definitely strong options. So Argentina gives you +5 to will. Australia is another one of these. All soldiers receive +5 ability points for stud rolls upon recruitment. This is easily one of the better bonuses, but there's no one single best bonus and obvious best bonus in here. All these bonuses, or most of these bonuses, are strong. There are at least a few that are very strong, and a lot of these lead to different strategies. There are at least 2 different philosophies to these bonuses, so some of them will give you a benefit for the entire game, like this one. This is a good benefit for the entire game, and some of them will give you a strong start, which is also good, because the better you do, the worse the aliens do. So you doing better at the start means that aliens won't do so well. Anyway, next up we got Brazil, which has 3 different options. So the first one is Jungle Scouts. I really like this one actually. That gives you additional item slot for early armor types until tactical rigging is developed. And tactical rigging is a very late game Fungi project. You need mutant elite corpses for tactical rigging, so it's a very late game project. This is definitely a very strong option. It gives you a lot of tactical flexibility early on. This is easily one of my favorites. Next up, we got +15% bonus to research credits from interrogations. That one is pretty self-explanatory. Research credit is the research boost that you get to certain groups of technologies for interrogating aliens. So that bonus is bigger with this. Then there's an option to play Brazil without any unique starting bonus. Then we got Canada, which starts with a laboratory and a workshop already built. So that's the kind of bonus that gives you a stronger start against the aliens. This is an interesting one because you need power for a laboratory and a workshop, so this bonus can lead to some power problems early on. Then we got another option for Canada, which starts you with 4 corporals in the barracks, 1 of each class. This is a really nice one too, I quite like this one. Interesting option with... Interesting option with training roulette as well. Next up we got China, which starts you with a workshop and repair bay already built. Repair bay is something new in beta 15. It's again one of the major changes in beta 15, which means that your equipment will sometimes need to be repaired, which is one of the reasons why beta 15 is harder in general. Your equipment will break if soldiers take too much damage, and you'll have to use the repair bay to actually repair that stuff. Next up we got second option for China, which is 100% bonus cash from alien corps and Rexays. It's not a bad one. Then we got 50% reduction in gene mod meld and cash cost and modification time. That's the third option for China. Next up we got Egypt, which reduces fatigue from psi powers, gene mods and officer ranks by 50%. That's a pretty decent one as well. Fatigue can be a big problem, as you probably know, if you play Long War. Then we got the second option for Egypt, which starts you with Advanced Repair Foundry Project, which grants faster repair time for aircraft, mechanized units, and damaged soldier gear. Advanced Repair is a pretty late game Foundry project, so this is not a bad option. Then we got France, which... what's this one? Country item requests occur 40% faster. Fulfilled requests provide 40% additional defense, and intel scans cost 40% less. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Country requests can give you a really nice advantage sometimes. They can be a little bit random at times, sometimes they are pretty useless, but they can give you a really nice boost. I do like this one. So next up we got the second option for France, which starts you with 20 additional soldiers in the barracks, the Foreign Legion. So that saves money, basically. You don't have to actually recruit these soldiers yourself. That's almost the same as starting you with extra money, which then you spend on new recruits. And Germany has 4 different options. XCOM HQ starts with the foundry already built. So that's the first option for Germany. Facility construction time is reduced by 43%. That's the second option for Germany. 50% reduction in cash, alloy and elerium required for mech and shiv primary weapons. That's a decent one. It can save quite a lot of materials. Then we got the last option for Germany, which is no unique bonus. We got India, which starts with 2 additional interceptors in your home base and elerium afterburners foundry project, granting extended interception time. It can be nice for early air war, which can be a big problem. And it can be quite random. Then we got Japan. Japan has 5 different options. XCOM HQ has 3 additional steam vents, so that's a lot of power from thermogenerators. We also got Ghosts in the Machine. Shivs receive +10 aim, and you start the campaign with 2 shivs in the barracks. If you like using shivs, then this is a pretty good one. Then we got the third option for Japan, which starts you with a Master Sergeant of a random class in your roster. I really like this one too. It's not the strongest bonus, but it's really nice, especially since Master Sergeant has increased experience requirement in Beta 15, so it takes longer to get a Master Sergeant. And it already took a pretty damn long time to get your first Master Sergeants. So this gives you a very strong soldier who can babysit your other soldiers early on. This is one of my favorite options, even though it's not the strongest one. But it's pretty good. Then we got +5 bonus aim for new shivs and mech troopers. So that's another one of the start bonuses. It can be quite nice. Then we got the option to play as Japan with no unique bonus at all. Next up we got Mexico, which starts you with 500 bonus cash. It might not seem amazing, but that extra cash early on can be really useful. It gives you some possibilities that you wouldn't otherwise have. Then we got the second option for Mexico, which starts the campaign with any Illuminator gun sight small item. And the third option for Mexico, 20% bonus to psionic training chances. Next up, Nigeria. All soldiers receive +1 mobility. I quite like this one too. Mobility is a hugely important stat. So this is actually way stronger than it might appear. It might seem like +1 mobility is not a big deal. It really is. This is one of the better stat bonuses, I would say, actually. Next up, we got 50% reduction in side training time. and an option to play Nigeria with no unique bonus. Next up, Russia. Starts with Enhanced Avionics Foundry Project, granting plus 10% hit during air combat. If you hate air combat in the long war, this is a decent one to start with. I'm not a huge fan of air combat, of air war in the long war, I have to say. Then we got the second bonus with Russia. Starts with an additional satellite uplink, and all satellites cost 50% less to build. That's a pretty good one as well. There are a lot of great bonuses in here in general. As I said, there's no one single best bonus in here. There are a few that could be considered top tier or so, but there are a lot of different strategic considerations. Anyway, next up, South Africa, which starts with an alien metallurgy and advanced salvage foundry projects, which gives them bonus alloys and weapon fragments. This is a pretty good bonus, because these foundry projects come pretty late into the game, and they will give you a lot of bonus alloys and weapon fragments. And weapon fragments are actually very important in Beta 15, because a lot of projects and research have hugely increased weapon fragment requirements. So this is one of the stronger bonuses, I would say. You probably won't have to worry about alloys and weapon fragments nearly as much with this one. Then we got another one of the bonus stat bonuses, which gives all soldiers +1 hit point. I really like this one too. That one hit point might not seem like a big deal, but that one hit point will often be the difference between getting one shot and surviving with 1 hit point left. I think anyone who watched my Long War campaign, as in the Season 1, remembers just how many times my soldiers survived with 1 hit point left. So that 1 hit point is actually huge, it's a big deal. Next up we got United Kingdom. All soldiers receive +3 aim. The second bonus for United Kingdom, which starts with Penetrator Weapons Foundry Project, which grants interceptors increased armor piercing. So again, if you hate the air war, that's a pretty decent bonus. And finally, the last one for United Kingdom, 33% reduction in ranks required to unlock officer training school projects. And we got 4 options for the US. Officer training school projects cost 90% less. This saves a lot of money in the long run, because officer training school projects in the long war are very expensive. Then we got XCOM HQ starts with all elevators already built, and excavation costs are reduced by 50%, so this saves money basically. Next, 75% reduction in time to complete autopsies and interrogations. And finally, there's the option to play as the US with no unique bonus at all. So, what are we going to play in this campaign? As I said, there are a lot of really good options that I really like. I like pretty much everything that gives soldiers extra stars, because that's useful for the entire game. However, in the spirit of using training roulette and making things a little bit more fun right from the start, I'm going to use the Kirukai Commander bonus, which will start us with a Master Sergeant of a random class in our roster. That should be good combined with training roulette. On my way. So, the first mission, the first one of many, Operation Falling Apollo. And one thing I didn't mention about starting bonuses, or about bonuses in general, is that every country also has its own individual satellite coverage bonus, which is not the same as the starting bonus. It's often similar to the starting bonus, just a weaker version of it, but sometimes it's completely different. Anyway, let's focus on the mission then. This is a pretty small map, so the sectoids might be very close to our starting position. Also, one of these soldiers will be our Master Sergeant. Let's see, who is that going to be then? There we go. 65 aim, 34 will, 3 defense. That's kind of average. Not terrible. 67 aim, 64, 64, 69, 60, 65. I am using hidden potential, so starting aim might be slightly misleading. Someone with low aim might end up with very high aim at Master Sergeant, and someone with high aim might end up with 80, 85. Anyway, let's move. I don't necessarily want to trigger anything on the first turn, so let's play it safe. Move into positions. And yeah, I could move here, but that might trigger a group. Yeah, I triggered the group anyway, even though I didn't move like that. Okay, 36%. Fortunately, they can't flank us. Can we take one more shot? Possibly. If I move here. Nope. Overwatch then. And we'll move back here. Overwatch. Overwatch, Overwatch. Might as well Overwatch with everyone. Go, go. Nice. That's one kill.
Their weapons appear to self-destruct.
Yeah. Right, I didn't turn off beginner voiceovers. So Dr. Valen will complain about explosives now. Doctor, no fun allowed Valen. Yeah. Okay. Whatever floats her boat. But we'll use explosives all day, every day. I might even do it now. That would be a guaranteed kill. Which might be worth doing. But let's see if we can do something without explosives. I could get 2 kills with grenades easily. Let's take a shot from back here. Missed. I think I can take one more shot. Yep. 34%. And that's a kill. Nice one. Now I can kill the overwatching sectoid with a grenade. That should do 3 damage. Go.
Frag out.
Nope. Only 2 damage. That's pretty annoying. I can't flank him or anything like that. I don't really want to trigger Overwatch. But I can take a shot like this. 40%. That's a kill. Nice. That's one group down. Should be 2 more groups. Somewhere around here. Overwatch. And Overwatch here. We still got quite a few more grenades. And I got a flashbang grenade. Let's maybe reload. Or... well, I would like to get the meld if possible. So... let's play a little bit more aggressively here. And try to kill the other 2 groups fast. There's the meld container. It's a little bit far away. But that also means it shouldn't disappear too quickly. Let's move. No groups nearby. Time to reload then. Just reload on everyone. Overwatch. Just in case we get a patrol. There should be at least 1 patrol. And Overwatch. I mean reload. You can Overwatch. The other 2 groups should be very close. This is a small map. Yep, looks like 1 group will be around the meld container. Or somewhere in that general area. Let's move closer. There's the meld. Can't see the sectoids yet. Move forward. Still no sectoids. Okay then. Dash into full cover. Should be fine. Yep, we got the sectoids and the drone. Might be able to destroy the drone. 82%. RIP. Okay, nice. Now let's get that meld. Not on this turn, obviously. Overwatch on this guy. And move into full cover. Overwatch, and that's pretty much it. There will be 1 more group on top of these guys. And this looks like a nice target for a grenade. He's on Overwatch, so that's the easiest way to kill him. Alright, let's do it. That should be a kill. RIP. Yeah, shut up, woman. We'll use explosive when we want to. Blah, blah, blah. Are you done? Should have turned that off. But whatever, let her talk. We don't care about that. Now, there might be another sectoid on Overwatch that I can't see. I think I'll stay back here. Move a bit closer. And Overwatch on everyone else. I still want the meld. But not at the cost of losing anyone. Even though this is the first mission and these are just rookies. Can we see the sectoid now? No? Okay then. Still nothing. Interesting. I could throw a grenade blindly, which might be an interesting plan.
On my way. Eyes on target.
There we go, that's another group. Can we get a kill from up here? 39%, that's kind of low. I think I'll play it safe and hunker down. Overwatch. There's a good chance I lost the meld, but I'm already trying to play quite aggressively here. I could throw a grenade, but I can't actually see the sectoids. What if we move up here? They are all in full cover. So, hunker down. Move over here. Alright. If the meld blows up, then whatever, we tried. It shouldn't. It was kind of on the other side of the map. It should be up for at least 1 or 2 more turns. But it's not a guarantee. These are all the sectoids on the map. All the remaining sectoids on the map. So that's 5 sectoids that we have to kill. Oh, it's gone. Oh well, we tried. It would have been really tough to get that meld container, unfortunately. But let's focus on the task at hand. I do have the AP grenade. This might kill both sectoids. Let's do it. Nope. It didn't kill any of them. Alright. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because that's a Master Sergeant and he doesn't need kills. But I would have preferred to get a kill. 27%. I might take that shot, but not yet. How can we do this? I can... No, I can't get a flank. There are 2 sectoids on Overwatch. I don't like that. I could throw an AP grenade. But I can't reach that sectoid. I would have to move. And that will trigger the Overwatch. He can't kill a soldier with 7 hit points though. So let's do it anyway. He might do some damage, but he can't do 7. He missed. Now I can throw an AP grenade. Which should be a kill. Easily. RIP. So what about these 2 guys? At 1 hit point each. I would like to kill both. Preferably without grenades. But it looks like I actually have to use grenades. At least 1 grenade. I don't want to move and trigger that Overwatch. Let's try to kill this guy. What's my chance to hit with a pistol? 21%. Okay, save ammunition then. And that's a miss. I might have to trigger that Overwatch then. Okay, if I want to kill both, I don't really have a big choice. I'll trigger that Overwatch. It might do 4 damage, but it's just a rookie. He missed. Now I can kill both. No, not with a flashbang grenade. And that will kill both. Good experience for her. RIP. 2 more sectoids left. I can't kill them on this turn. So Overwatch. And I can move a bit closer. Like so. Okay. They can't do a whole lot. They can try. That's a hit. Yeah, we are in partial cover only. So they actually had a pretty decent chance to hit there. But he hunkered down after taking damage. Okay, how can we get the kill? I could throw the grenade. I can flank that sectoid, and he is on Overwatch. That's pretty annoying. I can flank this one, however. So don't miss. 69% chance to hit. And that's a kill. Nice. So, just throw a grenade? Yeah, just throw a grenade. That destroyed his cover. Now I can get a kill. This should be almost a guaranteed kill. He will take a shot, but 7 hit points. He can't do 7 damage with a reaction shot. 90%. It's a kill. And we're done. There should have been one more meld container somewhere. So I think I'll get some meld. Let's check our promotions. So, the Master Sergeant is going to be what? Assault or Infantry? Or I could go for Random. Random might be an interesting choice. I think I'll go for Random, actually. It might be a terrible choice, but since I used Chaining Roulette to make things more random, I might as well use a random class on this guy.
Commander to the research labs.
Infantry would be a decent choice, though. Maybe I'll go for Infantry. Infantry is a pretty good class for babysitting, which would be this duo's role for some of the missions. Okay, let's go for Infantry. Now, I am using Chaining Roulette, so some of these will be randomized. I'll check all of them really quickly. We can get Resilience. We could get Holo Targeting or Sentinel. Can we use Overwatch-ish build? I do have Sentinel. No, I don't think I can go for Overwatch kind of build. I do have Opportunist. I could pick up Opportunist and Sentinel. So I could go for Overwatch type of build. But Lock and Load is also really good on Infantry. I think I prefer Lock and Load. Yep, Lock and Load. Hit Warheads is not useful at all. Maybe if it was hit ammo. Aggression or Sharpshooter. Plus 10 critical chance in all situations. Plus 10 aim against enemies in full cover. Or I can go for Aggression. I think I prefer Aggression, because that's more reliable than Sharpshooter. Up to plus 3% crit. Yeah, I like that. Next up, Suppression or Low Profile. Survivability is quite important for this guy. But I do like Suppression. These are both good choices. Suppression and Low Profile. It's a tough choice. Low Profile is nice. Especially on some maps that don't have a lot of full cover. I'll have plenty of soldiers with Suppression. At least I should. So let's go for Low Profile. Alright, Low Profile. Next up, we got Sprinter, I guess. Yeah, I think Sprinter is a no-brainer here. And Holo Targeting, Sentinel. Yeah, I'll go for Holo Targeting. That's nice for Infantry. I can get Holo Targeting up on 2 different targets in one turn. And finally, Resilience. Since survivability, as I said, is very important for this guy, I won't get a Master Sergeant for a very long time. So this guy will be my only Master Sergeant for a long time. Resilience. That's 86 aim. Kind of average for a Master Sergeant Infantry. 63 will, that's decent. Alright, let's check our other soldiers. Sniper. Or a Scout. 67 aim is decent for a Sniper. Let's go for a Sniper. Next up, we got this guy. Probably a medic. I need some medics. Yeah, that's going to be a medic. His stats weren't amazing. 64 aim is also not amazing. Rocketeer or Gunner? I might just go for random. His stats are kind of bad. We got an assault. That's pretty good, considering he had low aim. And finally, another infantry or assault. That's going to be another infantry. 69 aim is pretty good for infantry. That's 24 aim infantry at specialist rank. Alright, done. We got 5 sectoid corpses. We got 6 meld, 1 elerium, 1 alien alloy, 6 weapon fragments. Okay. Let's pick research then. Now, I would normally go for xenobiology in beta 14 and earlier, but I think it makes more sense to go for alien weaponry in beta 15, so I'll go with that. Let's take a look at our base. We got some steam vents over there. That's not too bad. I probably want an access lift ASAP here, because that will give me 2 instant slots for facilities. And it would make the most sense to get a generator here, because then I can build a thermal generator directly under it. So while I would normally start building a generator right away, in this case, I'll pass. I might get a laboratory over there, because research is slower in beta 15. Getting laboratories is really important. I'll need to think about this, but I'll probably go for an early laboratory, or I could get started. No, I can't get started on a second satellite uplink while building access lift. I would have to skip the access lift to start satellite uplink right away. Probably not a great idea. Alright, so I can show you the country bonuses for satellite coverage. So I'm in Asia right now, which means Asian countries are the most relevant in the near future. So China, xenological remedies, 34% bonus cash from alien corpse and wreck sales. That's a decent one. Then we got Australia. Australia is one of the reasons why I went for Japan, because that's +2 bonus aim for newly promoted gunners and rocketeers. It's obviously not as good as Australia starting bonus, but none of these are as good as the starting bonuses, because that would be a little bit overpowered. And this is a pretty good one. Extra aim is always nice. And India, +5% research bonus for each lab adjacency. That will be useful, since research is slower. And that's that. So, 2 more things before I finish this first episode. First of all, I'm not necessarily playing this campaign or starting this campaign with the intention of finishing it all the way, since first, I do have a full campaign on the channel, which took 242 episodes, and second, the Long War is more about the journey than about the destination for me. However, I will keep playing the campaign as long as you want to watch it. And second thing, I will rename soldiers as I go. I might wait for them to get nicknames, but if you want to get a soldier named after you, just leave a comment below with the first name, last name and nickname if you want one. Just remember that the first name cannot have more than 11 characters, the last name cannot have more than 15 characters, and the nickname can't have more than 11 characters. And keep in mind that I will not use any offensive names or names that wouldn't fit the XCOM universe at all in any way, shape or form. I like to keep at least some immersion. And that's it for the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.